hyper damage champion in Aphelios.
It's kind of unique because usually we see Mad Lions just looking in the misfortune. It gives them this early game power. Tahm Kench and Aphelios maybe highlights that they're not going to play like a bot lane centric game.
Okay, interesting. Look at this. Spicy Hot Pot coming in. Rumble plus Jarvan. So big changes on the side of G2. They went Set and Lee Sin in the previous game. What do you make of what we're seeing so far? And do you get a feeling that this Syndra is going to go bottom again?
Well, there is also the Ornn brother. But to speak about the Rumble Jarvan, I think yes, the Syndra's going to go bottom. Rumble is something that Perkz hasn't shown yet, kept it in his back pocket. But these are the lookers that you want to see against a Tahm Kench and Aphelios. They're quite immobile. You put that cage down, the hot pot as you call it. You're making me hungry here, Trevor. I think it's just perfect. Throw some catfish in there for some flavor, you know?
Hey, that would be the plan. And G2, maybe they were hoping for an early dinner. It is not going to be the case today. And Ezreal banned away by Mad Lions. That one catches me a little off guard. If we're anticipating the Syndra going bottom, maybe the Rumble going top, or at least it being a possibility, could go mid. What other 80 carries do you think could be banned away with the Kalista and the Ezreal off the table as well?
I feel like the target should be here, instead of banning 80 carries, just ban the top laners instead. We saw the Set going into the bottom side, we saw the Maokai the last time. I think it's easier to target that top side champion pool instead of just banning 80 carries, because Syndra most likely 100% of the time here when Rumble is picked is going to go into that bottom side. You need to ban those 80 top laners.
So Maokai first pick, then you put Ornn humanoid mid, Maokai top for Arome. I mean, it's there. Aatrox is gone, Renekton is gone. Let's see what this last ban from G2 is going to be. They've removed the Lee Sin. So Shadow also has to find another jungler. Gragas is taken away as well. So what else raises? What would you like to see Shadow playing in the jungle?
We've seen him play Olaf, but honestly, Olaf against Jarvan is kind of strange. Oh,
no ways! Kindred?
Throwing the hotbot. It's more meat, lamb.
Oh my word! Okay, but now what does this do to the composition? What do you make of this added into the Ornn TK Aphelios?
So the 2v2 for Ornn and Kindred is quite good, because Kindred is going to supply that 80 damage, good mixture of damage, but then also about the combination, that Lamb's Respite is going to make your team survive that big wombo combo that G2 wants to throw at you. So if Shadow is going to be precise with that ultimate, he can deny a lot of that burst damage from G2. That's what we just have to pay attention to in the fights later on.
Oh my word. And when you think about how Shadow played in game one, his Gragas was very good. Barring one or two Gragas ultimates not finding targets, he landed so many, hits. And there's a few little pivots here from G2 Esports in the final lock-in. Oh man, I held my breath for that Swain. I was so hopeful it was going to happen. Ends up being the Set. So Set top, Syndra, Rakan bottom, Rumble mid. And now we're looking for a top lane here from Arome. That's going to be my guess for G2.
This is looking like a super strong early game team composition for G2. Ornn is the type of champion that needs to wait, and Kindred the same way, needs to find those key kind of marks and then eventually find those 2v2s with the Ornn, summon a spell advantage at 6. G2, they start from minute 1, invading, pressuring, ganking. Rumble and Jarvan can definitely take over the game. This is the G2 that I want to see, the one that just puts on the fire from minute 1.
So how is this comp different from the previous one? That Maokai was locked in, so again, scaling, you need time for everyone on Mad's side. Comeback kids have done it in the past. Venice and I were talking a little bit about how G2's comp needed to get ahead early, but we didn't really see it come to fruition. So is this like doubling down on early game, or is it just a different style?
I think it's a bit different because the last composition, even though they needed to win the early game, they really couldn't, because Lucian kind of stuck in the mid lane against the Nautilus and Gragas. Many opportunities to gank. Lee Sin is not that powerful pre-level 6 without the kick, especially against the Nautilus that's going to itemize so much armor. And then the Kalista was just too strong against the Syndra. So the prio was ever from Mad Lions, and Shadow had too many opportunities to impact. So this is the key thing. G2 have more opportunities to kind of pressure through their lanes this time around.
Ooh, I like this idea. Opportunities to pressure. And then theoretically, if they are unable to do so, then what that means is Shadow on his Kindred, Arome on his Maokai, Humanoid on the Ornn, they are going to be able to scale up. And those team fights are going to be very scary in the late stages of the game if they do not fall behind.
Yeah, they just need to survive. Survive is the name of the game, because G2, they have a lot of power that is front-loaded. Boom, Set ultimate, Syndra ultimate, all of these powerful ultimates, but their consistent DPS output is not that high.
Well, let's jump into it. G2 versus Mad.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Yamato Cannon, you have survived the trial by internet fire, made it through a pick and ban, and when we got you back and connected, the first thing you did is type to me in all caps, literally going, mad game one, we've got a series on our hands. What are what are we expecting now? Because I got the feeling that you think G2's found another gear, that this comp, that they're going to ramp up.
Honestly, there's only two things that can come out of a 1-0. Either Mad Lions upset the whole series, which is crazy in itself, or G2 is really, really angry and we're going to see the maximum level of G2 because they honestly got humiliated in game one. They need to prove something to us now because now what's in the memory is Mad Lions winning game one.
I like that. G2 were humiliated in game one. Yamato, you called this in picks and bans. You said early invades, early pressure. Use the comp that G2 have put together to bully, to get into the face of Mad Lions. And Shadow has already been pushed out of his northern quadrant of the jungle. Perks is shoving.
Mickey just was there. He was in bot lane. He was a part of the invade.
Yep.
That's wild.
just shoving with him. Mickey's backing it up. And down in the bottom lane, Caps happy to concede the farm, happy to back away. And, I mean, he's going to lose a few CS here, but he's not doing too bad.
Nothing too shabby. You see also Javan straight to his red buff. Shadow is going to try to counter invade, but he's a bit too late. Let's see if we have some action.
Okay, a little dance of arrows over the wall and takes a lot of damage from Jankos. This is looking scary. Flashes are available. That's going to be another hop over the wall. Jankos is going to decide not to chase. Doesn't get licked by Kaiser and no first blood available.
You think that when you don't have a support in bottom, the enemy bottom most likely is going to have prio. I know I like that jungle sees it because most of the time in solo queue, your jungler is gonna flash after that and die a horrible death.
Yeah, absolutely the case, and luckily this time around it doesn't happen. But both game 1 and game 2, we talked a lot about the 2v2s and how the teams want to sort of play around their bottom lanes or can play in their bottom lanes. That was one of the expectations that we had coming into this game.
I think it's going to continue in a similar fashion this time around because of the whole key thing about Rumble and Jarvan, how strong they are in the early game. They have the prio, they can push and they can pressure into that bottom side. No more Kalista that's gonna bounce around. No more Nautilus, Gragas 2v2 mid that's so powerful in the early game. It is in G2's hand to make some action happen the first kind of 6 minutes in the game before Humanoid gets that ignite and that strong horn. Well,
here comes Rumble. He's going to use that scrap heap shield to move through the jungle, starting to overheat. Ooh. Humanoid flashes forward. Perks tries to sidestep. He's still got a flash available. Summoner heal used. Bottom lane from Mad Lions is the first to respond, but they're going to get cut off. They're going to get pincered in. They're going to get knocked up into the air. Defensive flash from Kazi. Now Humanoid goes down. First blood picked up by Caps. Kaiser's going to be the next target. That grey skin is doing a lot to keep him alive. Kazi firing over the wall. Flag, drag, knocked up into the air. It's time for G2 to brag as they pick up a kill. Kaiser goes down. 3 already done. If a red buff can apply, they might be able to get another. Shadow's going to step backwards. 3 kills picked up to G2.
It's an absolute disaster. I love how Perks controlled the river space. Kindred thought, oh, Java's on top side, I can just go in here. And Rumble just controlled it beautifully. We talked about it. G2's early game is just too powerful. Kindred and Ornn don't offer that much in these early skirmishes. Jarvan EQ. If you look at Mad Lions' composition, if you compare it to the last game, there's not like 3 CC abilities on every champion. Now we have this Tahm Kench, you have this Aphelios. Sure, Aphelios in some cases can root, but it's just not enough. You have to avoid those early skirmishes at all costs for Mad Lions, and this is just really, really bad.
And is this what you were expecting to see out of the Jankos versus Shadow? You know, Shadow, he's been involved in a lot of the invades, and he was the one that started the fight, but Jankos and G2 finish it.
It's such a beautiful sacrifice from Mickey to commit to that level 1 because Set and Jarvan aren't the strongest level 1 champions. So Jankos got the red buff advantage. It makes such a huge difference in these fights. Jankos, when he gets an advantage, makes sure to use it. Perks was calling, brother, I'm covering this crab for you. Just back me up and we're going to win this fight. It happened and G2 is in a monstrous lead. 2,000 gold, 3 kills already. It is huge at this point in the game.
Yeah, exceptionally well done. I mean, 2,000 gold at 5 minutes is insanity. Jankos isn't done yet. Flag and drag is available to him. Easy knockup. Orome's got flash, but I just don't think it's worth it. Pulled back, and Wonder gets another look down the kill score, Yamato. 1-1-1-1-1. It is only Mickey that's been left out.
And Jankos, he's spreading the good life to everyone. You want to gank on bottom, you want to gank on mid, you want to gank on top too. Orome makes it a bit easy because it doesn't flash the initial EQ of the Jarvan. He kind of was taking a nap there. I understand playing Maokai is not the most interesting thing, but Jankos picking up some easy kills here.
I mean, look at the CS as well. Like, Wonder is already up 20 CS and a kill. In the mid lane plus 10. Caps, who basically conceded the first 2 waves, is even kill and assist as well. I mean, this is a fantastic start. This is what I think everyone was expecting to see in game 1. And now the comeback kids are really going to be put to the test.
The key thing is G2's composition doesn't have an AD carry. Later on, these tanks are going to be unkillable. So it's important that G2 stick to having this lead, because a Maokai and an Ornn usually need an AD carry with 4 items to kill him. G2 don't have that backup in the end of the game, so it's important that they keep snowballing, because they have the opportunity to do so.
So Yamato, since I've got you back, and since we didn't get to tell this story in game 1, I would like to refresh it. For the viewers who did watch game 1, I do have the graphic ready for you this time round. G2 Esports second half of the split, they really improved their early game prowess. They stepped it up from the first half. And of course, as I start to tell the story, there's a little bit of an engage here on G2. But yeah, I mean, talk to me a little bit about how much more impactful G2 were in, the pre-15 and building up that performance.
Honestly, it stretches back even to last year. This was one of G2's weaknesses. They always outmaneuvered everyone in mid to late game with their decision making. The early game wasn't always their biggest strength. Many times in the LEC, they were behind a couple of thousands of gold, but no one really cared because you knew G2 would bounce back. G2 this time around have had a story of improvement. The question is always, what form do we have G2 in? And they've been super strong in the early game. Perks and Jankos dominating that 2v2 mid lane and spreading that across the board. I think it's very wonderful to see, and I'm excited for the form G2 is going to take coming into the rest of the playoffs and also this matchup.
And also, I mean, right at the beginning of the day, Yamato, you were talking about how this series sets the tone for playoffs. And Mad Lions picking up a win in a surprising fashion, earning that win, it sets that tone. You cannot disregard any of the opponents that are, excuse me, in the playoffs. Mad Lions showed they can tango with the best. They showed that they can earn the victory. They've surprised us a little with the draft. We've seen, the Nautilus mid, now the Ornn mid. Arome's running for his life, and there is a dive potential. Cataclysm's up. Equalizer's up. I mean, Arome's just going to get burnt to a crisp. But then again, you also can't, take a shot aggravating G2 Esports, because when you do, this is what happens.
For sure. It's like, if this is it's kind of like, fighting a boss on one difficulty, and then just you beat him easily. You're like, okay, I'm going to try him on a hard difficulty, and then it just smacks up with some new mechanics or something you've never seen before, making it look easy, because G2 5-0 now, honestly, this gold lead is so massive at 9 minutes into the game. G2 is looking super dangerous. I don't know what happens if they go 0-2. Is that going to be like Super Saiyan World Championship winner G2, or is it going to be just kind of a disaster? So it's important that G2, take this all the way to the Nexus, because maybe a 0-2 position G2 is a completely different G2 than what we've seen in the past.
Yeah, absolutely the case. And, that G2 that you were talking about, Yamato, we had that storyline around how this version of G2 improved upon the early game weaknesses of the 2019 iteration. We're 10 minutes in, Arome is 0-2, he's down 35 CS, and for a moment I thought he was about to get towered over again. But I mean, it's development and it's growth.
I like this approach more in the top side, as you mentioned. Arome is so far behind. I was surprised that Wunder went for the Maokai the previous game, because I want him to be the carnivore, and I think picking Maokai is probably the most vegan thing you can do if you're a top laner, right? And now with this matchup set into Maokai, he has opportunities to pressure. Jankos is ganking, Orome weak side usually dies to many ganks. I think Wunder can snowball this and really impact them.
4,000 gold lead, and the carnivore vegan reference you were making was for visualization purposes. This is not a comment on people who choose the vegan lifestyle. I know my man Yamato was definitely not implying that in any way, shape or form.
Of course.
But it is true, isn't it? Like, Arome has tended to be that guy that's played like on an island, sort of been left to his own devices. unfortunately, this game, it's hurting him really badly. You contrast, he's got a Balmy Cinder versus a completed Blade of the Ruined King on set. It's a very difficult situation to be in.
It's very, very tricky. If we think of Mad Lions and their opportunities to kind of come back into the game right now, they need to hope that G2 makes some mistakes, because they need to just kind of bandage themselves and stop the bleeding. It isn't a question of aggression, it's a question of how can G2 screw up, how can G2 not do aggression, because everything is in G2's hands.
Yeah, I mean, look at this tower dive already on the cards. Teleport available for Wonder. Perks hasn't left lane yet, just as I say that. He starts to make the roam. So, Spicy Hot Pot is available. Give me a quickness into a Cataclysm, into an Equalizer. Come on, G2. Not going to do it just yet. By the way, 4,000 gold in the lead. This is not going to end well, Mad Lions. This is not going to end well. Mad Lions, Nature's Grasp goes out. Arome gets knocked up into the air. The Ord Horn has been summoned. I may have been wrong. Shadow gets chunked down. He's got the Lamb's Respite available, but Arome is the first one to fall. It's traded for Mickey's life. 1 for 1, make that 2 as Caps goes down, and I was proven wrong. Mad Lions hit back 2 for 1.
This is very, very positive for Mad Lions. They have the composition that wants to scale with the Ornn, with the tanks, going 2 for 1. Anything that is positive net gain in terms of gold for them is something massive. And it all started with the fact that G2 wanted to force the play. Honestly, I think they skipped some steps there. They needed to push Kindred out of the bot side jungle before they go for that dive, because they are fighting 5v5 on bottom. They can create situations where they outnumber. I think this is what G2 need to look for. So they need to slow down a little bit. Don't rush too hard, because Mad Lions have the composition that can come back if too many screw-ups of G2 happen.
When does that window close? You know, because obviously they're down like 3k, right? 12 minutes. They're down a dragon, down 4 kills. So is it 2 items? Is it 3 items? Is it gold? What are you looking for if you're a Mad Lions supporter and you want to see them coming back into this game?
I think it's by the time where Ornn is going to start building items, Ornn level 13, 14, which is very, very far from here, right? If G2 can take these early drakes and kind of push us towards that climax around the soul, then it's going to be much easier for them. We have a 5 Trevor.
Oh man, Kaiser with those blue suede shoes. He hop, skipped, dodged and ducked everything. Was looking to make into the next dodgeball movie. Perks throws down Equalizer, splits up Mad Lions. Now all of a sudden it's a 3v2. Humanoid buys a lot of time with that stopwatch. Now he's the one that's backing away. Devour continues to do work here on the Mad Lions squad, and there's a lot of escalation, but nobody goes down, Yamato Cannon.
What is this, Red Arrow?
Did it time out? I think it was about to time out, right?
I hope so.
I think it was going to time out, but I mean, really, really interesting engage. I like the fact that Mad Lions down in gold are still willing to fight. Goal shot between the uprights. Caps is able to sidestep. There's all of a sudden the Rift Herald's down bottom, and that was a very interesting passage of play.
Honestly, I love how this Rift Herald turns into be a genius play, because Mad Lions decide to engage on mid lane. The Rift Herald gets the plating gold just before the platings go away. So honestly, who am I to question this Herald?
And not only that, it all landed in perks. If we can flip over to the gold really quick. 302, 1,000 gold up. So 1k out of the team's 5k is in back pockets. Wonder is 2,000 gold above Arome. The carnivore top laner versus the vegan top laner. And it's doing so much work.
Let's see if they can actually dive Wunder here. I think it's kind of dangerous because Wunder is quite tanky, but the CC is there. Maokai has to start it. Third. Oh.
Let's take a look. I'm waiting for the face break and the showstopper. Super Saiyan 2 has been triggered. Oh, Wonder. He's doing some pressure here. Flash away. Needs to get the shield up. Slam dunk with the tower. Not going to be enough. The Mad Lions will be able to pick up the kill. They cost themselves 2 flashes though, but it will open up some time on the tower.
That's important, Mad Lions. I think that the key way of them playing the game to stop the bleeding, they need to make sure that they make plays on the map the opposite side of where G2 does it. Wonder tends to die a lot on side. We've seen it in plenty of games. Mad Lions, the first time they won against G2 was when LeBlanc got kills over and over on Wonder's Aatrox. This is the right approach. This is what I like the Origin playstyle. You divide the map, make a play on the other side, make sure that you get some gold out of the fact that you lose the bottom turret.
Yeah, really nicely done. But don't you find that impressive for a team of Mad Lions' experience, down 5,000 gold, yet still able to find a play that nets them at least something back? You have to give credit to this youthful squad.
Of For sure, it's always with young rookies that are so explosive and take over the scene. It's usually like mechanical players that do flashy things from the mid lane or the bot lane. But Mad Lions is a very intelligent team. I think when it comes to mid and late game decision making, they can definitely find themselves on par with the top 3, which is honestly incredible. And I give a lot of that credit to the cerebral roles that is support and jungle. They tend to be at the right place at the right time, post 10 minutes, almost always.
And that's why Mad Lions have historically been able to pick up those wins. They earned their place in the upper half of the bracket. I said this a little earlier, but whoever wins this series will be playing the winners of Fnatic versus Origin. And Kazi and Kaiser are in so much trouble. There's a flash available for Kazi. He will be able to make his way to Shadow in a moment. Equalizer comes down, Devour is out, and Kazi's down. Manages to hold on to that flash. Shadow will follow after. Doesn't even use that ultimate either. 3 quick kills go the way of G2 Esports, and that one hurts.
That one hurt indeed. I loved how Mickey zoned out Kindred to make sure no Lambra Spites would come down, even though I don't think it would matter.
No,
Mad
definitely
Lions
not.
completely get collapsed on. It was complete destruction there.
Oh man, okay, so now all of a sudden you can say with a high level of confidence, G2 should win this game. And we go back to this drawing board where G2 drastically changed their drafts in the second game of the series. They go full early game and they execute. Mad Lions, on the other hand, they have a similar flavor to game 1, albeit with more scaling this time. As we see this utter destruction here, what are the players and the coaches and the support staff thinking as this is likely going to be a 1-1 series?
I think the key thing to think about is just giving up that Syndra over and over. I think it makes sense if you can trade it for the Kalista, then you have something that is mobile. Kazi seemed very confident in the 1v1 matchup. When Syndra gets locked in, most of the time he's going to go into that bottom side because Caps likes to play just a few picks on bottom, stick to them. That's how they maintain Caps' comfort because he's playing a new role. I think Syndra bans need to start flowing, especially if they need to go another blue side. Just trade it for a Kalista ban. Keep the trash in the game and put Caps in a situation where he needs to play something else. Maybe push him on the Talia again, and then maybe you have more options because Syndra is so safe and so strong against these immobile carries in the bottom.
Well, let's see how this fight plays out. Wonder will be able to go golden. And look at that. Humanoid considered backing away. Horn comes out. That's a long-range snipe with the evil goat. Wonder goes down. 2 deaths to his name. But I do want to draw a little bit of attention to Perks as we're getting close to 20 minutes. He's got the Morellonomicon, got the Haunting Guys, 4-0-3 on that Rumble. It was a first phase pick. And when you want your mid laner, your captain, the face of the organization to step up, just picks up the Leandry's Torment now, and he's leading from the front, showing G2 the way that he wants to play and the way that he wants the rest of the series to land.
Also, to think that last year he was playing AD carry in the World Finals, winning MSI and all, and just coming back to the mid lane and easily proving that he's the best mid laner in Europe that is currently playing. I know there's a conversation with Caps, blah, 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 but focusing on Perks, the fact that he also picks up these new champions is also beautiful. We have a little fight.
Yeah, we do indeed. Humanoid's going to look for that connection onto Caps. They will find him. He ended up using his flash. Survives a little longer than I was expecting. It's Kazi's Aphelios that picks it up. Mad Lions are still down 5,000 gold, but with no, I was going to say AD carry, with no mage in the bottom lane, G2 Esports are going to concede this dragon and instead shove the wave. Jankos and Mickey, do they fancy a dive? Do they go for the steal? This would be bold. Jankos is sniffing for it. Mickey does not have the quickness available, and they will start to back away. I keep holding my breath because I feel like G2 are going to go in at any moment.
Syndra has TP, Set has TP.
Oh my word, there's that spicy hot pot into the knockup and the quickness. In a 3v4, G2 managed to connect it. Humanoid completes the teleport. Now Lamb's Respite is buying some time. It will keep everyone alive, but not until the explosions. The Horn comes down. Wonder is starting to smash the faces of Mad Lions. Shadow goes flying. And now Humanoid and Arome are running for their lives. The Flame Spitters and the Electro Harpoons are running them down. Perks on that Yordle mech pilot is trying to chase out. The Dragon goes the way of Mad, but the team fight goes the way of G2.
It's a massive gold swing in G2's favor. The key thing was Mad Lions' timing on the TP and all killing caps. It was nice. They got the Mountain Drake. If they get out of this unscathed, it looks like a nice situation. They get the Mountain for the tanks, but instead G2 waits so patiently. They know the TPs are gonna come. Set is TPing up top and they start the fight. Very explosive onto the Tahm Kench. And it was just easy. They're just too far ahead. The damage numbers that Rumble is just outputting right now is just too crazy. Kazi has no Tamo. The Landers fight is honestly just keeping caps. And Yanko's alive for the time being. And then the tanks don't do enough damage. Thank God they don't do enough damage even with these Sunfire Capes to finish the rest of the targets off.
I mean, when you think of the item advantage, Morello's and Leandri's already pre-20 minutes. I think Perks went into that fight at 4:03. He comes out of it at 5:05. He's got a 550 gold bounty. You've now got Leandri's and Luden's Echo completed for caps. Gold differences plus 1.6k. Sorry, observers, I'm trolling you there a little bit. In the top lane, it was around 2k. Still a 30 CS advantage. And look, G2, it's a fantastic lead, right? So, how do they finish the game? How do they win?
Honestly, I just want them to start controlling the top quadrant there of Mad Lions' jungle. Make sure that the Mad Lions are pushed out and that they are forced to face check. G2 can start pressuring the Nasher, because if they fight in this area that is highlighted here with Mickey's contesting, all of a sudden that Rumble ult is going to be doing too much damage and they can force the fights that they need to force. Right now they have the key items, they have the Morellos, they have the Leandris to reduce any healing, and Leandris for the max percentage HP. As soon as the Void Staff start landing as well, Mad Lions tanks are going to scale a bit too late into this game.
Yeah,
Another
definitely. Another one indeed. The amount of team fight AoE is actually just disgusting. Look at that. Cataclysm into the quickness, into the equalizer, and yes, the Ornhorn from Call of the Forge God was great. But what does it matter? There's just not enough time. Nature's Grass now starts to turn around. Shadow will have Lamb's Respite in a few minutes, but I don't really think Mad Lions want that fight, and they back away.
Yeah, it's so tricky without mid turrets for Mad Lions to even walk out on the map. The engage from G2 is so strong, the follow-up. Jarvan can cover so much distance with his EQ into the Cataclysm. It is very difficult for Mad Lions to play. They need to kind of just hope for the best, look for the engage as 5, and hope that the tank bros are good enough to win the fights now before the Void Staff start coming in.
I like that. The tank bros. That's a good one. The thing is, I don't think G2 are going to give them a chance. It feels like every one of the team fights that's happened, G2 has found a way to kind of start the skirmish with a numbers advantage on their terms. So now I start asking, let's look forward. What do you want Mad Lions to do to change when we come into Game 3?
So I mentioned that Syndra ban, right? That Syndra ban is very important. The question is also Shadow's champion pool. Maybe they need to pick a jungler first 3, because this Kindred has been very uninteresting. Jankos took over the whole game. I want to see Shadow back on that Gragas and Lee Sin, because that's what he's comfortable on. The Kindred was cute. It was a nice plan with the Malka and the Ornn. You have some damage. But honestly, cute is not what we're going for. This is not a Hello Kitty stream. This is LEC playoffs.
It is indeed. And that Hello Kitty composition from Mad Lions just got eaten alive. I mean, G2, they went full early game. Our expectations based on how these teams play early game was this, that G2 were going to be able to just get ahead. Wonder with his Blade of the Road King and Black Cleaver is just beating that poor tree to death right now.
Oh, it's so mean. I love the sound, like of hitting the bark that you mentioned before. You know, dish dish. I really enjoy it. Another lo-fi beat, maybe.
Maybe actually. If our observers can get a chance to listen to Wonder hammering on Maokai, good luck with that one. But maybe we can turn that into another track as Call of the Forge God is summoned. Yes, it gets a catch onto Mickey, but that's just not enough. I'm waiting for G2 to re-engage. Cataclysm, Quickness, Equalizer are all available. They're thrown down the mid lane. Shadow forced to get devoured. Lamb's Respite not used. He's not with his team, so it's not going to matter. The Mountain Rift is causing some obstruction for any follow-up, and despite a number of ultimates being thrown, nobody has died yet. That's a big stun onto Humanoid. The Mountain Drake is available for the taking. Humanoid, flash for flash, traded with caps. Unleash Power gets exhausted, so it won't do a whole lot. Now the turnaround. Wonder continues to chase. Lamb's Respite comes down. The true damage chunks down the Mad Lions. Flame Spitter and Overheated means the Perks can't do more. Electro Harpoon is to burn that guy down. Shadow's escaping for his life for now, and Kazi will get chunked. The ace is on the cards. Kaiser is being killed, and Shadow manages to escape. G2 Esports 10k gold up, just about. Get themselves a Mountain Drake. They're one away from Soul. They've got the Earth, the Wind, the Fire. They're missing a record label, and maybe they can go for Baron.
My goodness. Are we in September? What month is it?
Oh, really good. It's the only track I know, my
Me
friend.
too, man.
Oh, well, there we go. We're going to go one punch onto Shadow. Wonder's doing his best anime impersonation. I forget what One Punch Man's name is. Do you watch anime?
Baldy.
His name's not Baldy. Oh, you've just infuriated a lot of weebs out there. Well, Baron is picked up. It is now 10,000 gold in the lead. And yeah, we do have a very, very interesting series developing. I just want to give a huge shout out to everyone that stuck with us through those tech issues. Things starting to stabilize. I'm feeling confident. But Yamato, talk me through this team fight, because it started very dragged out and then it just ended G2 favors.
It's just how nice G2 stall out these key abilities. The tank bros, they are hanging on tight, they don't die so slow, but the poke is happening, One EQ, maybe eventually 10 Syndra Qs is enough to pull down an Ornn and a Maokai. They stalled out the ultimates, and then the clinical flash here from Caps just here when Humanoid goes zoom. Very, very nice. That could have been the key engage to kill Caps, and maybe the fight looks different. But then the stun comes down. Ornn and Maokai can't do so much. They have the Lamb's Respite saving Mad Lions for a couple of more seconds. But honestly, who cares? Because G2 is still in full force. They're not so reliant on ultimates. And there we go. Mad Lions is down with the Nasher and the Mountain. Mad Lions look kind of dead this game.
So Yamato, now the question that I have for you, let's talk about side selection. Obviously, it's been blue side, red side, G2 Mad, 2 games in a row. Mad will be able to go back to the drawing board, have to now start to pivot and adjust their draft. How much does that change when you start looking into the next game, when you start realizing, all right, this is the monster that we anticipated in G2, and they feel warmed up?
Sometimes you need to just, the conclusion is we just gotta play better. And that's rough, coming up against G2. Here we have another engage, and it's just such a beautiful hotspot, as you mentioned.
Yeah, absolutely the case. There's the engage there from Wonder. He manages to get the showstopper down. Arome chases forward. This will be a kill onto Wonder. Jankos is still looking to dissuade Mad Lions from pushing, but with the Baron is pushing forward. The minions tearing down the tower. They've zoned away all of the Lions from the turret. Now the inhibitor is going to be the focus. And G2 Esports will start to back away. Teleport coming in from Humanoid. No flash to get over the wall. He's going to have to run the long way around. By so much time, that teleport, you've arrived to watch the fight end. Humanoid now wants to try get that volcanic charge. Looking forward, gets a knockup, but it's onto Caps. He's going to be able to move away. It's Mickey that goes down first. Now Arome, he needs to get Sap Magic before damage comes down, and he does not. That's a double kill. Turning it back around, Caps goes down. And it's just a little bit crazy. 3 death on Mad and 4 dead for G2.
If G2 decided to have some fun, this was the time to do it right before the soul spawns. Okay, Perks. Okay, Perks.
Is he not done yet? The overheat, the flame spitter. Hit him with the drill! Not gonna do it. The shield from Humanoid keeps him alive.
I was just trying to mention, it was just, this is the right time to die. G2, the Nasher is running out, the fire is happening, very nice barbecue there. Every key ingredient is in it, the Tomkins, the lamb, everything is delicious. But then, they survived the initial impact. They are tanking a turret, Wunder falls down. He's not that tanky with that itemization. Has his Mercury, Black Cleaver, and of course Blade, but he needs to keep punching and play the fight slow in order to make it happen. G2 kind of overstep, but I mentioned this is the right time to do it because the Drake is not up. They're not going to lose that Drake, and they can prepare for the next Mountain Drake fight.
Yeah, definitely the case. I think that's Soul Point as well for G2 Esports. Just help them knock down those towers even quicker. I mean, look, Mad Lions, they are really trying to push back, but their comp is just too far behind. The damage that Caps and Perks is putting out is overwhelming the tank bros. And then you've got Saitama in Set's Wonder that is just one punch manning it up and taking down every raid boss. The name came to me like a vision when you don't need it. I'm in the middle of a team fight. I was watching Perks on Rumble and I stumbled over my words because I was like, it's Saitama! I'm like, thank you, brain. You're about 4 minutes late.
I haven't watched One Punch Man, but considering Set always punches twice, I don't know if it fits. I don't know the story of Saitama, Baldy. I just know how he looks like. You know?
Yeah, he does throw several punches, but it's
Okay,
always
okay.
like it's always like the final blow is just OP as hell. You
Okay,
know?
false advertising.
Yeah, exactly.
One punch
exactly.
man.
But it's because you're always waiting for that one punch. That's what it is. It's anticipation. Equalizer just completely stops this. Where's the minimap? Incoming Wonder. I was waiting to see if a fight was going to break out, but easy Drake start here. Teleport now completed for Morome. Nature's Grasp is in a pretty good position, actually, to catch G2 out. Wonder would need to teleport. Got the ultimate up, and they start to back away. Let's see where this engage goes. Perks, no equalizer. Remember, he had to use that in the mid lane. That's the flash engage. The 3-man knockup. Mickey, you are a monster. It doesn't stop the dragon from being secured, but it looked hella good. Kaiser's now looking to get roasted. Dinner is a cooking. Yankos and Caps. There goes the toss. Waiting for Scatter the Weak. A stun can be very valuable in these tight corridors. Manages to find 2. Mickey hops over the wall. Perks has been around long enough that Equalizer's almost available. So much damage onto Caps. He stays alive a few seconds longer. Gets himself another stun with another unleashed power. G2 continue to push. Why are these fights so long? 36 kills in 31 minutes. The Equalizers are cooled down. It's burning down again. Humanoid is the Mad Lion sniper with the Devil Ore. And Saitama is pushing the Nexus. Flash forward, pulls back Shadow. Lambs just buys time. The body slam. Wonder gets out alive. He's not done yet. The Devour comes out, spit back, punch him in the face. My word, Wonder, you are a monster. And that was incredible.
It was so nice how G2 was just playing with their food. Mad Lions wanted to base. They were looking at their Nexus and they were just seeing how Seth was punching every building down. Almost took it all the way. Mad Lions tried to recall, and then eventually, G2 had to give up some members to kind of, try to continue this push. But Mad Lions fight to live another day, but with a significant gold disadvantage, is looking quite grim.
Yeah, Yamato Cannon, you might need to buy me some time in a moment or two, because I think I'm just going to have to go tell my neighbors that nothing untoward is happening in this household. Everything's fine. And these loud noises are just from excitement. But that was so fun to watch. Like, Wonder pushing the base alone. He's styling on kids. 300 CS to 188. 6, 3, and 9. 4 fully completed items. And yes, G2 are 10k gold up. I think they're toying with their food a little bit. But it is about making a statement. It is a best of 5. You've got to win 3 games. So this is definitely going to get into the heads of this lineup. There's no way that it can't.
Trying to picture a world where Mad Lions come back, but it's very, very difficult. I'm just going to make more psychedelic references. I'm going to skip it this time. Here we go again, Wonder.
Okay, let's see what he can do. Showstopper comes down. I think this one might just be to run away. Goes golden, buys some time. Manages to keep hammering. That shield is huge. Can he turn it around? He's got himself 1. Shadow's running for his life. He gets pulled backwards. Wonder's not done yet. Steps forward. Doesn't want to jump into Wolf. Wolf is scary. Lamb is not. Honestly, Set is just Imber. Like, there's no doubt about it. A new challenger appears. It's wildly effective. And while Shadow will get some damage here down onto Wonder, it does feel like it is just a matter of time. Yankos pokes him with the flag. And they get the 28th kill of the game. 44 kills in 34 minutes. We're not done yet, and the Nexus turret is being focused down. G2 Esports make a statement win in Game 2 of the series, shutting down Mad Lions from 4 minutes into the matchup. And Wonder's even going to have enough time to a showstopper into the fountain. G2 even the series 1-1.
My goodness, G2. They've been awoken. They are angry. The early game started with the slam Mickey just joining on that invade, and Jankos taking that small advantage, blowing it up completely together with Perks. They continued, got that massive lead, a big enough lead for them to kind of play around a little bit and clown a little bit. I think that's the G2 position that they love to be in, where they get to play around and have some fun as well in the game.
I think to myself, Yamato, like, I was joking a little bit about the FPX Nautilus, right? And like get in their heads, maybe it features, it's not going to be a primary reason, but let's not kid ourselves, right? You see Nautilus mid, everyone's going to remember. Now all of a sudden Mad Lion's going to game 3 thinking, well, that was a bit embarrassing. That one hurt. Like G2 got to style on us. Wonder got to literally dance around people emulating anime characters. And now Mad Lions, their resilience is going to be tested.
This is just a question of digging deeper. What did FPX play more than just Nautilus? I can't remember at this point in time.
We have some time to research, Yamato Cannon. So let's do some research, because in a few minutes we're going to hear what Mad Lions coach Mac has to say ahead of Game 3. Don't forget to join us tomorrow for our second series. It'll be Fnatic versus Origin, and the winner of that series will play the winner of this series.
Everything they do or try to do is by the book, and we are the complete opposite. We probably have the edge, because I think in best of fives it's a lot about actually not playing by the book.
Fnatic are better in 2020 than they were in 2019.
Cooldown is your tip sniper.